Hi, this is Toby, and today I'm going to show you tips to growing pineapple from crown. So basically, this pineapple plant I have at home is grown from the top of a pineapple, the crown, and it's taken me around 3 or 4 years to produce this little fruit. And I have to say, it's ready for harvesting. Right now, I'm probably around 1 foot away from it, and I can smell the smell of that pineapple. So if I don't harvest it anymore, it's probably gonna rot and we're not gonna have the fruit. And it's got a beautiful crown up there. See, it's a bit slanted because the pineapple sort of toppled over, but if it was straight, the crown would have been straight up. But I'll show you how to grow them from the crown, but first I'm gonna cut them off. I do apologize for only using one hand because I'm holding my phone with the other. So we're gonna go to the base, just cut it off. And as you can see, it looks a bit weird, but that's a pineapple. That's what you get in the stores, but much larger. It's all yellow, and you can eat that and grow the top, which I'll be showing you how to. So I've just removed the crown from the pineapple with one clean cut, and as you can see, it got some roots already. It might have cut a bit too up, but it doesn't really matter. It'll regrow the roots. You can see there's already roots here, and the leaves haven't dried. Now I do have 2 other crowns I'll be working on that I sort of forgot about, and it's a month old. You see it's all old and stuff. So I'll start with these first. This one is still fresh, so I'll show you how much you should pull off. Because when I first started growing pineapples, I tend to pull too much of the foliage off, and if you do pull too much of the foliage off, what happens is in the center, when the leaves are still young, they tend to just fall off, and the crown becomes bare and it dies. So how much is a good amount to pull off? First, you make sure when you buy it usually if you bought it from the store, there's a lot of dead leaves at the bottom. Just pull all the dead leaves off. You can see there's already roots starting to form there. That's really good. And make sure you do let them callus for over around an hour, or at least like a couple of minutes before putting in the water. You can see there's already roots starting to form, so that, 'cause it is a month old. I haven't put it in water or anything. So you must be wondering how much is too much to pull off now, and what is the perfect amount. So what I say the perfect amount is you expose the bottom of it a bit, and what you do is, for example, this I feel like is enough, or maybe a bit more, because I've seen some people pull a lot more off and they have success, but it is a risk. Because one main issue is, you can see when I pull, see how this is getting white because there's not a lot of sun, and this part is really thin and weak. And if you just go to a healthy leaf here, you see how it's only up to here, but once you go here, the white part goes up to here, and almost half the leaf is weak and it will just fall off. And that tends to how a lot of mine used to die when I planted it. So I'll just remove a couple more dead leaves. Some inside I won't remove because look how far up you have to go. And it'd be more reasonable to just cut them off. So I would say this is the good amount, and we can pop it in here just like that, and that's none, and you keep it in there until you see roots. Now this one's a bit less fortunate. It's a bit more dried because I did forget to do these, or actually I waited till the other one was ripe to make the video, but obviously these have been there for a long time. But as I said again, you want to first get rid of all the bottom ones. Now these I just twisted them so they came clean off the plant. The other one I cut with a knife, so that's why the cut looks more smooth, but this, it's just a twist. It just came clean off. And I'm using the water method to grow these plants. There's also the soil method where you plant them straight in the soil and you water the plant. Now I have had success with that as well, But just for the sake of this video, I'm showing you guys the water method. I tend to not leave any leaves inside the water because you do not want any rot on the leaves, because that might spread to the plant and make the water quality go down. As you can see, the roots are already starting to form on the plant. And to prove that this works, I'll be showing you an update of the crown when the roots have emerged. And I do have a lot of pineapples outside, and once that happens, I'll be talking about what's better for them and the care for what you do to make sure that they stay alive and grow pineapples. 'Cause right now, the one I had is the first one I've ever had, the first plant that grew pineapple. So it looks like I'm pulling a lot off this, but I'm just trying to get a bit more dead leaves off. And you can see what I was talking about, how the white is starting to go up. And you don't want it to go all the way up. And as you can see, the leaf is starting to get a bit weak here. So I wouldn't pull any more off. This is probably the most I'd pull off for this plant. I'd pull around 50% off, and I wouldn't go further than 75%. Some people tend to just leave 2 or 3 leaves, but that's a high risk. And we just put these in. So we do that, and yeah. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to yeah, I've got a bigger cup, a Slurpee cup, because the pineapple was growing sideways, and once it was growing sideways, it came off the plant like that. So you can see that, I'll lift my camera up. You can see the bottom is not straight, so I'm gonna have to adapt to it and put in a bigger thing so it actually goes in the water. But I'll still be planting it like this. So now those ones I twisted off, because if you look carefully on these leaves, it's all smooth. I'm rubbing my finger against it. It won't hurt you. But this plant has so many spikes on the leaves, it's really hard to pull it off. So I'd cut it off, and you can see the spikes are hooked. So if you stroke it this way, you'll feel nothing. Like if I just go like this, you don't feel anything. If I go like that though, your hand will get clipped, and if you put pressure on it, it'll start to hurt. So it's hard to handle this. So I'm gonna put it down and do the same thing. And as you can see, there's already little roots starting to form. And this tends to be a bit fresher than the rest, so I have to wait for it to callus over before putting it in. But I won't show you putting it in because, you know, you've already seen those. The same thing is done to those. You pull the leaves off, and it's really spiky. So if you're working with spiky pineapple, do be careful. And you can see there's already roots here. So that's really, really nice. And I don't want to pull the roots off, so be really careful when you pull the leaves, you don't damage the roots. So I'm being really careful not to damage the roots. You can see there's more roots underneath. So that's really, really nice. And in case you're wondering, you can see I'm moving it, so that's actual root. And they're usually hidden between the gaps of the leaves. So if I just not cover with my finger, under there's probably going to be root. Yep, right there. So for this, I say I'd probably pull one more ring off, and I'd say that's probably enough. 1 or 2 more layers for this. I do apologize for this being a bit slow. You can skip this if you want and watch the later part of the video. But try pulling from the side, not just down like that, because I'll just remove all the roots. So bend it out, go from the side and pull it like that, so you don't damage the roots when you're pulling it. See, there's more roots. Because this tends to be, you don't usually get pineapples this fresh. If they're in the store, you can see the bottom of the crown starting to brown up, or the tips of the leaves starting to brown. It's probably because the pineapple's been there for a long time. So this is homegrown, first time ever. This is pretty fresh. You can see there's a lot more roots than the other ones. And I don't know how much more I'm going to go, because I feel like this is enough. I'll probably I'll just do that. And you can see this is roots and roots underneath. So I'll pull this. This will be the last leaf I pull off. Probably won't be any more roots underneath. So we're gonna put it in the water, and it's not gonna fit because these leaves are in the way, so I might have to remove them. And because it's at such an awkward angle, I have to show you. That's the best I can do. But I'll show you what it looks like when it starts to grow. We can see it's only been around 2 days and roots have formed on these plants. The water's gone a bit murky in this one, so I'll probably change that. But if you look at those roots, they've already started to form. I won't pot them up just yet. I'll wait for them to grow around 1 or 2 centimeters long, and then I'll start to pot them up. Same with this plant. Lots of good root growth. And this is actually really quick because when I grew the bigger plant from the top, it took around a month for first roots to start forming. And let's just take this out and let's see. There's so much root on that. I can almost pot it up, but potting this up might be a bit of an issue because it's at a slant. I might have to pot it up like that, and yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an issue, but we'll see what we can do. Before I pot them up, I'll just show you the roots. So on the crown, the spiked one, there's so much root, and it's just waiting to be repotted. It's probably around 5-6 centimeters long, so we need to repot that. The other one, we'll lift it up, and that's a good root length that you want to repot. That's like the optimum root length you want to like pot it up in. And let's check this one. The roots on this side, there seems to lack, but on that side there's enough root to keep the plant alive, so we'll pot them up as well. So I'll just put my camera down and we'll start potting them up. So I'll see if I can sort of improve the view. It's hard recording by itself. Yeah, let's do that. So what you want to do is you just get a regular pot. I really need to fix this camera angle. Just hold on. So we'll pot them up, and I'll show you what to do. You just grab your crown, you just place it in your pot so that the roots touch the soil, and then you just get your potting mix. And since there's a lot of leaves in the ground, I'll hold it like this so that you guys can see. You do that, and you sort of just place your soil in there. So making sure it goes on all sides. And I'll rotate it as well so you guys can see. And make sure you press down so there's no empty air spaces in there. Yep, so that's one done. And we can water that afterwards, and I'll do the next one. So I'll get this pot, the pink one, for this. And for the crowns with the I'll just move this over. If they've got dry tips, I suggest you cut them out. It's a bit difficult with your normal secateurs, so just take your time and just cut the dead parts out. Like you can see it doesn't cut that well, but once you just rip it off, the plant, it's gonna benefit from cutting all the dead part. You can cut some of the green off, helps you cut the thing off better. It'll just heal over. So right now I'm removing all the dead parts. And I almost just cut myself. Some of this, go all the way down. So removing dead leaves, like they're dead, so like you don't really need them. I'm just checking. Okay, it's the bottom. You can't just rip it off. Or just the tips. But you get what I mean, like removing all of them. I'll remove them later. So what I'll do is I'll just pop this up right now. Same thing as I did before. Place it in the pot and just grab your soil, and hopefully you guys can see. You grab your soil and you just really just place it in there. So that's the potting part. I might just bump the camera. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I brought enough soil out here or not, but so long as the roots are covered, that's good enough. And just keep it in a sunny spot where it can get light and enough water so that it grows. So I'll deal with this one. This one's a bit problematic. The root is so long. So what I have to do is I'll have to make a little hole. That's still. I'm just removing soil from the pot, and I'll see if I can plant it straight like that, so that when it grows, it doesn't tilt. Some soil under so it can prop itself up. And I should just have enough soil to repot this. Oh, I don't think I have enough soil. I'll get some more and I'll just come back. But actually, no. I might have enough. There's still some I haven't used. I can't really rotate this because of how limited my space is. It's hard recording by yourself. Making sure it's upright, pressing down, and the roots are still showing, so making sure I can get the soil out. It's on that side. I'll see if you guys can see. I'm just trying to make it upright so that when it grows, it doesn't slant to one side and fall over. That's what it's doing right now. And instead of doing, I might just prop it up with some rocks. You can see it's tilting, so I might just prop it up or do something, just weigh the leaf down like that and let it grow because it's tilting. But that's really about it, what you do. So you just put them in your pot, and if you do get really cold winters, like if your temperature goes below 0, I do suggest you put them indoors, and maybe not plant them out on the ground, because I have some in the ground that was older than the one that produced the pineapple, and it's still tiny, because I don't think it's doing well in the ground. But the ones I moved into pots, they seem to do much better. So I suggest you just leave them in pots, and just keep upsizing the pots so that they can grow bigger. And once after maybe around 3 to 4 years, you get a little fruit. So if you're feeling like you want to propagate pineapples, remember to save the crown on the pineapple, and you can grow it using this method. So I hope you enjoyed this video on some tips on how to grow pineapple tops and proof that it works. So if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So thank you. Bye.